This is News 3 Now at 5.
And it is with a very, very heavy heart that I announce one of our officers has succumbed to his injuries.
A Capitol police officer is dead and another badly injured following an attack this afternoon. Someone drove a car into the officers and crashed into a barricade not far from the Capitol itself. Police say the person got out of the car with a knife and lunged at officers. We're told the suspect is also dead. We'll have more of this developing story in just a few minutes. Here in the state capitol, there's reason to smile and see those smiles starting next week.
The county is relaxing certain COVID restrictions while we set record vaccination numbers and prepare to open eligibility to just about everyone in Wisconsin.
We have team coverage with all of the latest updates tonight, but we'll start with Brady Mallory and what's included in public health's new order. Brady?
Oh, the new public health order means you can ditch your masks under certain circumstances. Order number 15 lifts the requirement for people in Dane County to wear a mask outdoors when in public. It also removes limits on outdoor gatherings when there's enough space to spread out. The county's health department looked closely at a steadying trend in new COVID cases and hospitalizations. That, plus more people getting vaccines, allowed them to keep reopening the county. However, health leaders still urge you to follow safety guidelines, especially since we're about to have a holiday weekend with some very nice weather.
Continue to ask folks to do the right thing inside, wear your mask. If you are with others who are not vaccinated, if you are with folks who are at high risk and you are vaccinated and you're at others who aren't and who are at high risk of having poor outcomes.
This new public health order doesn't change everything. A lot of the guidelines you've been following remain the same. The indoor gathering limits remain the same. Bars, restaurants, and gyms will also keep current capacity limitations. Indoor mask and social distancing guidelines are also the same. For a closer look at those guidelines, you can find them under this story on channel3000.com.
And some good news on Good Friday. If you're fully vaccinated against COVID-19, you can celebrate Easter with friends and family. New CDC guideline says if it's been 2 weeks since your final shot, you can safely gather indoors without masks with other fully vaccinated people. If you're not vaccinated, you can still gather, but they recommend outdoor gatherings, masks, and social distancing. The CDC did not stop there. The agency also opened up travel for vaccinated people. The CDC considers them to be low-risk travelers. That means you don't have to test negative or quarantine before or after domestic travel.
You can thank the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine for increased availability in Wisconsin heading into Monday when every adult becomes eligible. And with that increase, Naomi Coles explains how healthcare providers are preparing.
Hospitals, clinics, and other healthcare providers are still giving out the largest share of vaccine doses in Wisconsin right now. But as we're preparing to open up eligibility on Monday and that supply is ramping up, vaccinators are starting to share the burden of those vaccinations a bit more evenly.
You are all set.
All right, thank you. Our great-grandchildren are going to be talking about the time when the scientists in 2020 did this thing that was considered undoable.
We are at the end of the last week of limitations on which adults can get the COVID-19 vaccine in Wisconsin. And heading into Monday, doses coming into the state are steadily rising.
We at SSM Health expect a significant increase in the vaccine allocations to us over the next few weeks. For next week, for example, we expect our allocation of first doses to increase significantly, hopefully getting to a point where we can operate our vaccine clinics at full capacity.
Thank Johnson & Johnson for most of the increase. The DHS said this week that while small increases in Moderna and Pfizer are still expected,
but we're getting close to reaching their manufacturing peaks.
Most of the rise will be from J&J.
Last week, we received 34,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson, and we expect to continue to see regular increases in that amount in the month of April.
Here's how vaccine distribution has increased over the past 2 months. Healthcare providers are still giving the most vaccines of anyone. But as other providers get more doses, healthcare has dipped from providing half of all vaccines in February to 40% in March. They aren't giving less. Everyone else is giving more, especially pharmacies.
You know, if UW Health doesn't have it, that doesn't mean nobody has it. It just means, you know, look around, try to find other vaccinators. They may have it, even though their ability to vaccinate might be a little bit lower.
Overall, there was a 42% increase in all vaccines given out in Wisconsin from February to March. And we're only going up from here.
It's really cool when you look back and think big picture about where we were a year ago and where we are today.
Now, on this Sunday's For the Record, I'll be talking to other major vaccinators, plus public health in the area about what you need to know about getting that shot starting Monday.
Right. Thank you, Naomi. Stoughton Trailers gave their employees a good reason to come in on a day they're usually off. Vaccines for hundreds of them. SSM Health provided the shots. The Stoughton-based company makes transportation equipment. The CEO says this was a convenient way to reach 500 employees all at once.
A great feeling. I think everybody's excited, anxious to kind of move on to the next step through this, what's going on with COVID, and very happy that we have the opportunity at Stoughton Trailers to make that available.
Workers at Stoughton Trailers became eligible for the vaccine last month. SSM Health has given more than 155,000 shots since December. Shots are going into arms across the U.S. at record pace.
President Joe Biden says more people were vaccinated last week than ever before.
Yesterday, we set an all-time record for Thursday vaccinations, ending a 7-day period. That was the first ever where we administered 20 million shots in 7 days. That's 20 million shots in a week. No other country has come close to doing that.
The CDC's latest data shows more than 51 million people, or 15% of the U.S. population, is fully vaccinated. Wisconsin has started vaccinating its prison population. Prisoners were eligible as the last priority group in Phase 1B. That group started getting shots on March 1st. As of Monday, 680 prisoners had gotten at least one dose of a vaccine. The state has an incarcerated population of just under 20,000 people.
Nearly a fifth of people in Wisconsin are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. That includes more than 61% of people at least 65 years old. Dane County is still ahead of the state's pace. 22% of residents have finished their vaccination series. We're also seeing a jump in new cases and deaths today. DHS is reporting 875 new infections over the past day. That's a jump of more than 300 from yesterday's data. 8 more people have also died.
You can find a full list of vaccinators in your area and all of the top coronavirus headlines on our Channel 3000 app. It's in your app store and it's free. Let's get a look now at your first warned weather. Meteorologist Dana Fulton is out on the weather patio. A little breezy out there, but the sun sure is nice.
The sun is nice, yes, and you're also right. It is a little breezy currently for us. If you have any plans outdoor this evening, you should be just fine with the spring weather. The same goes for the weekend. Here's a live look downtown right now. We're at 49 degrees with wind speeds in the teens. Enough of that. Again, it's breezy, but not too bad. Doppler track's going to stay quiet for us after what was a very sunny day. And the good news, that sunshine is going to stay with us as we head into the weekend. We're 49 in Madison, but 52 in Mineral Point and in Lone Rock. 50 degrees right now in Monroe. And compared to this time yesterday, it's about a 10-degree warm up throughout the area. Tomorrow, we're going to add on a little more. Mostly sunny skies for your Saturday with milder temperatures in the mid to upper 60s for afternoon highs. It'll be even milder for Easter Sunday. We'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, thank you. We'll see you then. A Capitol Hill police officer was killed, another injured, after a man rammed into them today with his car. They were stationed outside the U.S. Capitol, which is once again a crime scene. Skylar Henry is in Washington, D.C. with the latest.
National Guard troops raced toward the Capitol Friday afternoon, then lined up shoulder to shoulder in a show of force. Law enforcement officials say a car had tried to breach the perimeter of the Capitol, hitting 2 Capitol Hill police officers and ramming into a barrier.
The suspect did exit the vehicle with a knife in hand, and at that time he started to lunge toward, run aggressively toward U.S. Capitol Police Office.
Police say the suspect managed to stab an officer before police shot him. Emergency crews loaded 2 stretchers into ambulances. Capitol Police Officer William Billy Evans, an 18-year veteran of the force, died of his injuries. The suspect, 25-year-old Noah Green, also died.
It does not appear that he is known to the Capitol Police or the Metropolitan Police Department at this time. It does not appear to be terrorism related, but obviously we'll continue to investigate.
The scene unfolded while Congress was on recess. President Biden had left for Camp David, and the White House press secretary was in the middle of a press conference.
I'm obviously not aware, as Kelly acknowledged, of the situation at the Capitol. The President of the United States always travels with a national security rep.
The incident comes 3 months after a mob of armed insurrectionists stormed the U.S. Capitol as Congress was voting to certify Joe Biden's presidential win.
Law enforcement took down fencing around the outermost perimeter around the Capitol complex about a week ago. Cars, unless they were cleared by authorities, couldn't even get close to the buildings.
Also last week, several lawmakers from both parties pushed for a bill that would remove permanent fencing around the Capitol. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And police believe the suspect was working alone and the threat to the Capitol is over.
The Derek Chauvin homicide trial wrapped up its first week today, but it is far from over. One of today's witnesses included Minneapolis Police Lieutenant Richard Zimmerman. He's been the head of the department's homicide division for more than 12 years. On the stand, Zimmerman said Chauvin violated police protocol by kneeling on George Floyd's neck after he had been handcuffed and in a prone position.
Pulling him down to the ground, face down, and putting your knee on the neck for that amount of time is just uncalled for.
Zimmerman said police are not trained to kneel on a person's neck. The defense tried to show that police training had changed significantly since Zimmerman first received his training. The trial will resume on Monday.
Major League Baseball is moving the 2021 All-Star Game and MLB Draft out of Atlanta. It's all in response to Georgia's new voting laws. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said the league talked with teams and current former players. Georgia's Republican governor signed the voting bill into law last week, which includes restrictions on voting by mail and greater legislative control over how elections are run. The All-Star Game could end up at the American Family Field. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett sent a letter today to the commissioner saying the league should consider Milwaukee. He called it a particularly appropriate location to honor Hank Aaron, who started and finished his career with the Braves and Brewers. Aaron died in January.
We finally know who will be Dayton County's next sheriff. Governor Evers appointed former deputy Calvin Barrett today. Barrett has also been an officer with the Sun Prairie Police Department and works as a law enforcement instructor at Madison College. He will replace Sheriff Dave Mahoney, who retires next month. Barrett will serve the remainder of Mahoney's term, which ends in January of 2023.
Well, March was a good month for the economy. The Labor Department's job report shows 916,000 new jobs were filled last month. That's almost double the 468,000 added in February. The unemployment rate also dropped from 6.2% to 6%. The rosy outlook did not affect the stock market. It was closed for Good Friday. Well, coming up at 5, if you're hoping to browse for a new book at the library, you'll have to wait at least another month.
Plus, we'll take you inside the Boys and Girls Club's new space on the Capitol Square. And coming up on News 3 Now at 6, a new warning from the Wisconsin DNR about elevated fire dangers around the state this weekend.
Tonight on CBS, it's a full night of action and drama, starting with MacGyver at 7. Then it's Magnum P.I. at 8, followed by Blue Bloods at 9. Then get a complete wrap-up of the day's news on News 3 Now at 10.
Hop on over to Ashley Home Store for the Easter weekend Beat the Clock sale. We're closed Easter Sunday, but shop Friday, Saturday, and Monday for big savings on our top looks, plus no interest financing for 5 years, and bonus discounts up to an extra 10% off our sale prices. Ashley Home Store.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you, and whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
I've smoked, I've drank coffee, I drink red wine. It makes my teeth darker. And using Power Swabs, it's made a difference. People ask me, what do you do to whiten your teeth? And I'm really proud to tell them that I use Power Swabs.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just gotta
rubbed around my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like, you got to leave it on for 30 minutes, and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on, and it was good to go.
When I used these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth today by ordering Power Swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Yes, 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free Quick Stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Hop on over to the Easter Weekend Beat the Clock sale, Friday, Saturday, and Monday at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Get savings of up to 40% off appliances, plus no interest financing for 12 months on top brands at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6, Dane County is updating its mask-wearing policy and allowing gyms and health clubs to reopen saunas and steam rooms. We're detailing the new public health order that goes into effect next week.
Trials on hold during the pandemic means victims stuck holding the bill.
I'm trying to build credit, and with more than 2 years' salary up in debt at the hospital, that's pretty hard to do.
Naomi Cole shows you how it's cutting into victims' wallets. Justice delayed. Monday on News 3 Now at 10. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. You'll have to wait a while longer before you can go back to your local library. The Madison Public Library Board is delaying making a decision on whether to reopen the city's 9 libraries. The buildings have largely been closed since the start of the pandemic, with the exception of curbside pickup and some limited in-person activities. The proposed plan would have allowed the buildings to reopen April 19th. Now the earliest they could open is May 24th. It's taken a lot of teamwork over the past year to get through the pandemic, and that's no different for businesses.
A small local business owner is working with other Madison-based businesses to help them get through the current financial hardships. Jamie Perez shows us what they've been working on.
I'm here at Carbon 4 Brewing, where they're making a special limited edition beer. Now, for a brewery, that is nothing special, but what is unique is what's in this beer and the story behind it. So this beer is infused with honey. Now, that honey came from a small local business that started just before the pandemic hit. Not knowing where to take his business when everything shut down, he decided to take matters into his own hands and help other struggling businesses along the way.
You know, with the pandemic, I know they need help too, you know, so I don't feel like I'm ever doing enough, but obviously just trying to build this, because the more I can build, the more I can help give back to the community.
He says he plans on working with other small businesses in the future as well to make sure that everybody here can stay on their feet and make it out of this pandemic together. Coming up tonight at 6, I'll share more of his sweet backstory, what led to this partnership, and the businesses that will benefit because of this.
In more local news, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County is giving the community an inside look at its new space on the Capitol Square. Urban Land Interests donated a space at 1 North Pinckney Street to the club. The space will now function as a volunteer center and training space for nonprofits. The club also plans to work with small minority-owned businesses to host events and pop-up shops.
We just want to make sure that nonprofits have accessibility to the space. It was important for us that there's representation on the Capitol, so majority of the people that will be using this space will be people of color.
Johnson says the space can also be rented for birthday parties and family gatherings.
Let's get a look now at your first warn weather. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has your weekend forecast. Dana.
That's going to include a lot more sunshine for us. We're in for a really nice trend as we look ahead to the weekend. Our high pressure shifting a little further to the east. The breeze right now coming from the south. That's warmer air building in. It's kept things pretty dry and comfortable.
Not just for southern Wisconsin, but throughout the plains in the Midwest right now. We're in a very dry spot. Because of this, if you look a little further to the west, there are red flag warnings in place stretching through parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota and Iowa included in that right now. That's due to fire concerns over the weekend. And while we do not have a red flag warning in effect right now, there is still an elevated fire risk for the weekend because our humidity is going to be so low. We do have that breeze coming in from the south, and our surface conditions very dry right now. Not only is the dirt dry, but all the little branches and logs out, everything's really been zapped up of any moisture. So not a good weekend to try to get rid of any backyard buildup. Not a good weekend to try to do any sort of backyard fire in the fire pit just yet. It's going to be really nice outside though, so I definitely recommend that you spend time outside for Saturday and for Easter Sunday, as it's going to be a little bit warmer for us for the next few days. Sunny weather and of course dry weather for this weekend. As we get into next week, we'll have the chance for some showers and isolated thunderstorms. It doesn't look like we'll pick up a lot of accumulation, but we'll still have some showers passing through. Overnight, our breeze again coming from the south. Temperatures will drop to the upper 30s for overnight lows, so a little milder for us to start off the day on Saturday. Saturday afternoon will be in the mid to upper 60s with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures heading into Sunday morning near 40, and then afternoon high temperatures will likely climb close to 70 degrees, if not into the low 70s. So really nice for Easter Sunday. Our precipitation trend likely will be trending below average in that long range outlook looking towards the middle of the month. Even with those rain chances coming in, it just doesn't seem like we're going to pick up a lot of accumulation. Our temperature trend, very likely that we will continue to trend above average, and that lines up with what we are looking at heading into next week and the following weekend. Mostly sunny tomorrow and milder outside. High temperatures will be in the mid 60s. Close to 70, if not in the low 70s for us on Sunday, so really nice for Easter Sunday. We'll stay near 70 degrees for the start of the work week, but that is going to come along with those April shower chances. We'll have the opportunity for some rain and a few isolated thunderstorms. Behind the rain chance, it does look likely that we will dry up heading into next weekend, and the temperature trend cools down just a little bit, but the mid-50s still a bit above average for us this time of year. Traffic conditions right now, no news is always good news. East and westbound along the Beltline both look like we're in good shape. In fact, a closer look at downtown, we're not really seeing any major delays. And the interstate from Dane County all the way through Rock County for north and southbound look good this evening. From Janesville to the Beltline, 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, 9 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
Looking good. All right, Kenna, thank you. Still ahead at 5, 4 teams are left in the NCAA's tournament bubble in Indianapolis, that is. Why health experts say it might not be the last sports bubble we see. We'll be back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Add comfort and style to your home with help from Menards. Find your style with Patriot Lighting ceiling fans. Menards has a huge in-store selection for you to choose from, like this LED Ogan ceiling fan. It comes with a remote, and you can easily change the color temperature with the flip of a switch. Get 11% off all Patriot Lighting ceiling fans. Save big money and get 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here to help.
Joe Parisi has preserved thousands of acres that the public can enjoy forever.
Joe knows we all deserve a chance to succeed.
Joe Parisi partnered with local schools to build the only school-based mental health program of its kind in the state.
Thank you, Joe, for your commitment to preserving green spaces that we can all get outside and play in.
Thank you, Joe, for working so hard to make sure everyone in this community has an opportunity at a second chance.
Thank you, Joe, for caring about the well-being of our children.
Democrats, teachers, and newspapers are lining up to support Jill Underly for state superintendent. The Capital Times says Underly is the right choice. The State Journal says Jill is focused on early childhood education to get ahead of racial and economic achievement gaps. Backed by Tammy Baldwin, Mark Pocan, and the Democratic Party, Jill Underly will do what's best for our kids.
I'm Jill Underly, asking for your vote for state superintendent.
One night, 3 ladies, and dozens of hits. It's the Ladies of the 80s tour, featuring Taylor Dayne, Lisa, and Evelyn Champagne King. Together live June 5th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster and at the Ho-Chunk Gaming gift shop. The red hot dance party you've been waiting for. Taylor Dayne, Lisa, and Evelyn Champagne King. June 5th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your grown-up getaway.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, barring the unexpected, there will be an NCAA tournament champion crowned Monday night in Indianapolis.
And it will cap a year-end tournament unlike anything we've ever seen before in college basketball. All season long, teams had to undergo routine coronavirus testing. Some conferences, like the Big Ten, required testing almost every day. The NCAA tournament was also one of a kind, with all 68 teams competing in a bubble in Indiana. That meant teams could go just 3 places: the hotel, the practice gym, and the game. And some experts say we might see more of that going forward.
I do wonder if there will be teams that will start to impose, public health measures on their athletes during viral seasons, just to make sure that their players, when they show up on the field, are at 100%, or at least, most likely to be 100%. And it might not be as restrictive as these bubbles, but there may be, efforts in place for these players to ensure that, influenza doesn't, tear through the team.
The March Madness bubble isn't the first bubble that we've seen in sports during the pandemic. The NBA held its playoffs last summer in Orlando, while the NHL held its postseason in Canada. There's only 3 games left in the tournament. You can watch both Final Four games tomorrow night right here on WISC, with Houston and Baylor starting at 4:15 before UCLA and Gonzaga in the nightcap. The national championship game is scheduled for Monday night.
Well, the MLB season is rolling on during the pandemic, but it's not all smooth sailing. The league has postponed this weekend series between the Mets and the Nationals after multiple players tested positive for COVID-19. The Brewers will look to pick up another win tomorrow when their series with the Twins continues. They started off the season yesterday with a walk-off win in the 10th inning. First pitch tomorrow night is set for 6:10 at American Family Field. Well, the final check of your first warn weather when we come back.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
For over 25 years, Fry Construction has provided excellence in home improvements. We strive to exceed the expectations of our clients with each and every project we do. Respected by so many of your neighbors and voted best of Madison, Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. In honor of our 25 years, we're offering 25% off gutters or insulation with any full roof project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
You expect students to make a mess in schools, but the superintendent, under Deb Kerr's leadership, the Brown Deer School District was a financial mess. Kerr's district's accounts were overdrawn by $500,000, slamming her district with late fees. And instead of firing the employee responsible, he was given paid leave, costing taxpayers $136,000 more to pay him to do nothing. Scandals, cover-ups, taxpayer money wasted. Deb Kerr, the wrong choice for state school superintendent.
Enjoy more space with a new Champion sunroom, custom built to fit your lifestyle.
The sunroom has now become our family room, and we live in our sunroom.
We help you choose the best design options for your home. Manufacture our products right here in the USA. And our install team manages your project every step of the way, all backed by our Champion guarantee. Right now, save 30% on your new sunroom. Call now or visit championsunrooms.com to see which sunroom is right for you.
There's been much debate about the Mona Lisa smile. Would it have been bigger and brighter if she'd had good dental care? Maybe if Physicians Mutual Insurance Company had been around back then, it'd be a different story. She could have gone to the dentist more, knowing she'd have help paying the bills. And those regular checkups might have found early signs of tooth decay or gum disease, costly problems that could keep anyone from smiling. Physicians Mutual offers affordable coverage that can help pay for cleanings and unexpected or expensive procedures you might need, like crowns or dentures. This is real dental insurance, not just a discount plan or for checkups only. There are no deductibles, and there's no annual maximum. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Call or go online today for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual. Get the dental care you need to help you stay healthy. For your free information kit with all the details, call us now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Dana has one final check of our weekend forecast. Looking good.
It is. Nice and sunny for tomorrow in the mid-60s, low 70s for Easter Sunday with partly sunny skies. And then as we look ahead to next week, we'll have some April showers building in. Chance for rain almost every day with some isolated thunderstorms. It doesn't look like we'll see a lot of accumulation with that rain, but still a little bit to kind of help make things a little green and bright and help them grow again for us. Again, April showers, that's going to lead us to some Mayflowers, hopefully. Behind all that rain, cools down a little more for next weekend. But we're still above average with high temperatures in the mid-50s. But I think everyone's pretty excited about this weekend.
Slowly but surely we're getting there.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.